Shalom. First off, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Barakah Kodash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS who have taught us this word and teach us this word today. And I want to give a salutation unto the elect of the nation of Israel. This is the Brother Yataz with the GMS Nebraska camp. This is GMS Endeavor. And in this lesson, what I want to get into is, why Esau has to be taken out of power, and what I'm getting into is the wicked vibration that Esau pushes upon this earth, because as the scriptures say, we'll go to Sirach chapter 10 and verse 2. It says, as the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. And what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein. Now, what it's saying is, as the ruler is, so are the subjects. So Esau, when we go to Hebrews chapter 12, verse 16, it gives a description of Esau. It says, lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau. Now, Esau is the so-called white man. Esau is who rules this world today. And I'm not talking about your everyday Edomite, that you work with. I mean, you have the elites that are behind closed doors, the elites who we don't see on TV, the ones that really make the decisions in this world, that are really running things, your banking families, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, those are the people who are really ruling this current world. But when we read, it says, lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. Now it's showing us what kind of person Esau is. When we look at that action that Esau did in selling his birthright for that uncooked food, what that showed is that Esau had no self-discipline. He had no self-control. He had no patience. He was just when you look at that, the birthright was a very important thing. The birthright isn't no small thing, but Esau was just willing to give his birthright away in a moment because of how hungry he was. And he would have been fine if he just waited a little bit longer for that food to be finished. But that showed the nature of Esau. The scriptures say that the soul which is lifted up in him is not upright. And so how do we see that being pushed in this world today? Well, like the scriptures say, as the ruler is, so are, the people who he's ruling over. This is why we see in this world, you have a bunch of people who are impatient, who are, not, who don't show forth virtue, who are selfish. Just look at the everyday people in this world, caught up in their own lives, not just show forth all kinds of wicked actions. And it's because that is the type of energy that is cultivated in this land today. When we look at the school system, well, the school system is set up to breed workers, to keep Esau's system going. But in general, the ideas that are pushed in Esau's school system are nothing but wicked ideas. This is why it's allowed for people who are transformers and a part of the LGBTQ community to teach children. That's because that's the way that Esau is. Esau is a nasty, unruly man. And so that type of behavior is allowed to run rampant in his kingdom. When we get into, the nation of Israel ruling, that's not going to be able to be, that's not going to be allowed in our kingdom. Ain't no homosexuality going to be a problem in the kingdom of Israel, because righteousness is going to be the vibration that's pushed. But when wickedness is the vibration that's pushed, that's why you have so much death going on in this kingdom. That's why you have so much robbery. That's why you have, all types of, man on man, woman on woman going on. You have PORN in this kingdom for free. You got children. You have the order of the household being all types of out of whack. Why? It's because Esau, it doesn't care to, put these things in order. All Esau cares about is his position of power, him being on top of everything and everybody being under his control. But when it comes to the moral state of everybody, whatever. He could care less, because if he did care, then this wouldn't be an issue in his kingdom. Esau has all the power in the world to run his rulership the way that a rulership is supposed to be ran, the way that the Most High intended for things to be ran, which is by the law. Which the law was given unto the nation of Israel, but still Esau is the one ruling, and he has the ability to push righteous morals. He has the ability to push righteousness. And what do we have when Esau is in power? A world that is in decay morally, physically. Everybody's I won't say everybody, but majority of the people are, well, especially here in the US, are unhealthy. And that's because Esau is in power. But let's read on in Sirach chapter 10. We're going to come back here. Sirach chapter 10 verse 3, which says, "An unwise king destroyeth his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited." An unwise king destroyeth his people, because Esau doesn't have a care for this planet that's been given into his hand to rule in this time. You have all sorts of pollution going on all across this earth, destroying the oceans, the seas, destroying the atmosphere because of Esau's greed. And he's destroying the people. All the food is defiled. A lot of people couldn't cook to save their lives. They have to go out and eat this fast food or whatever is provided, and there's poisons in the food. Now the elites eat good. They eat the best of the best foods on this earth. You wouldn't catch nobody amongst the elites eating McDonald's, but he gives the people that he's ruling over McDonald's, and he pushes it. He has it advertised, and we see the fruits of that. So it says, "An unwise king destroyeth his people." Hey, let's look at Jake, for example. Jake is always perpetuated in the news to be, violent. Jake, doing crimes against Jake. But Esau does that against their own as well. And the reason why you have, crime running rampant, and you have people, murdering each other, you have Jake in this mindset that they're in of being YNs and all that. That's because that's Esau's mindset. We have to remember Cain was the first murderer, and the spirit of Cain is the same spirit that is in Esau. That murderous spirit, that lying spirit, that double-crossing spirit, that's an Edomite spirit. And that's why our people have that so strong in this time. Don't get me wrong, Jake can get into wickedness. Our people had, the 2/3 of our people are caught up in wickedness. But it's even worse that you have Esau's vibration in this world, and it's rubbing off on our people. It's rubbing off on the whole world. That's why the scriptures say wickedness had exceedingly polluted the whole earth. Hey, let's look at the state of war that the earth is in. Man, there's been war. America alone has not had a year where they weren't involved in some type of war since America has came into being. And that's America alone. Let's look at all across the world. There's always wars going on, and it's by the will of the Most High, but it's underneath the rule of who? Esau. But when we read verse 4, it says what? "The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable." Because Esau is not profitable for this earth, therefore he has to be taken down. The scriptures call Esau what? The son of perdition. When you get into that word perdition, it means destruction. Esau is destructive. He's like he's not responsible. Anything Esau gets his hand on, something bad comes out of it. Esau is the one that created the nuclear bomb. That shows you how destructive he is. And this is why the scriptures say what? Second Ezra chapter 4 and verse 28. It says, "But as concerning the things whereof thou askest me, I will tell thee. For the evil is sown, but the destruction thereof is not yet come. So the evil is sown, the evil is planted in this current rulership. And when you plant something, it takes root, which is saying that evil and wickedness is the root of this current world. That is the foundation of this current world. And that's why, the people that we deal with on a day-to-day basis, we listen to their conversation, the things that they're into, and, is all types of evil. Our nation, we live in a wicked and an adulterous nation, but that's the spirit of Esau being pushed that is allowing this to go on, because he has sown evil in this earth. It says, therefore, that which is sown be not turned upside down, and the place where the evil is sown pass not away, then cannot it come that is sown with good. And so we're going to continue to live in this wicked kingdom with these wicked morals and ideas being pushed until it's destroyed. That's why Esau needs to be taken out of power. That's why that's why this kingdom has to be destroyed and burnt up. Because unless the evil is done away with, then good can't come. And so what does it say in 2 Ezra chapter 6, verse 9? It says, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. That's how we know that it's Esau who is behind the wickedness that's done in this world. The scriptures say the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges. If not, where and who is he? We know that's speaking about Esau. Who's the one ruling this current kingdom? Is Esau. So who's the one behind all the evil? Is Esau. So who has to come into power to put a righteous vibration into this earth? Jacob, Israel, ruled by at the head by Yahweh Shai, by King David and the 144,000 elect as the ruling body. Because once the kingdom of Israel is placed at the top of this of the world, once they are the rulers, a righteous vibration is going to be pushed. The kids are going to be brought up with being taught righteousness, being taught the law, and the thing is, we're going to be in the second covenant when that time comes. So righteousness is going to be written in our inward part. It's going to be impossible for the nation of Israel to go off, but all the heathen, they're going to be taught in righteousness. They're going to be shown the proper way to live. When we go, let's get that in Isaiah chapter 2, which says, Isaiah 2:2, it says, and it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in the top of the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow unto it. And this is showing that those Amalekites, those Israelis that are in the land today, they aren't the real people. Because if they were the real people, then this prophecy would be fulfilled. And it isn't being fulfilled because all the nations of the earth isn't flowing unto Israel. When we read verse 3, what does it say? And many people shall go and say, come ye and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord. People ain't going to Israel and trying to learn of their ways. It said that the mountain of the Lord's house should be established in the top of the mountains. But you have all these countries around the world fighting for power. You have Israel in a war right now. That's showing you that they're not the real people. But another thing that shows you that they're not the real people is that what is going on over there? All sorts of wickedness. You have the gay parade that goes on in Tel Aviv over there. That's not going to be happening when we come into power. You have it where man, I forgot how. I don't know if it's how they circumcise the babies or what, but when a male baby is born, you have the doctor that puts their mouth on the baby's private part. Like that's wickedness. That's wickedness. That is not supposed to be how things are ran. But we read verse 3, it says, and many people shall go and say, come ye and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the power of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. And that isn't happening today. People ain't going unto Israel learning of the law. You know, it says, for out of Zion shall go forth the law and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. And he shall judge among the nations and shall rebuke many people. And they shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore, right? Because when we are in rule, there will be peace upon the earth. There will be no more war. There will be no more, bad things going on in the earth. Because there's going to be righteousness on top. There's going to be a profitable ruler, a prudent ruler, a wise ruler, on top, which is going to be, the nation of Israel at their best in the new bodies with righteousness written in their inward parts. So with that being said, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Baruch Give double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS and the salutation unto the elect. Shalom.